There's many secret storylines in Season 3, like the Wanderer now appearing around the map, this character's true identity, new bunkers opening and appearing across the Fortnite universe, and the 0 point, yes, the 0 point being a part of the Wanderer. We're exploring 6 theories in Season 3, and stalking players on the map lurking in the shadows now is none other than the Wanderer. In the new update, his very own model was added to the game, and he's already begun stalking people in game. You can find him in one of these 6 locations on the map where he'll be spawning randomly each match. This player reported a weird glitching effect like you'd see in an event, and if you zoom in you'll notice the Wanderer staring off in the distance. This is a part of an all-new sequence in-game that plays. Here you can see this mysterious shroud of darkness surrounding what we know as the Wanderer, but what's even crazier is that his appearance on the island alone can distort the reality around him, hinting at the fact that whoever he is a powerful entity. There's dozens of theories on who this could be, and someone took one of Fortnite's very own characters, the Foundation, to see if he fits into the cloak found within the files, and he slips in almost perfectly. This makes a lot of sense because this isn't really to see if the Foundation is the Wanderer, but rather someone else really important who has a similar build to Fortnite's biggest antagonist yet. You see, we first saw the Wanderer in a loading screen, and looking back it clearly dons a face. A face which doesn't match the facial appearance of the Foundation and wouldn't fit with the helmet. This means it's more likely that the Wanderer is Geno. The theory is that the current storyline is actually connected all the way back to Chapter 4 Season 1, where we met none other than the Rift Warden Stellan telling us that there would be a shapeless man who might be the Wanderer.
When I was young, the shapeless man came to me in dreams.
The shapeless man was heavily hinted to be Geno, especially since he was said to have imagined a world of perfect order, hinting at Geno's imagined order faction. But Stellan's descriptions seem to match the Wanderer perfectly, a being without shape watching us with dark purpose. Additionally, the Wanderer's cape is made of leather and has a similar pattern design to that of Geno's cloak and armor, so a lot of the community believe the shapeless man, aka Geno, is this new mysterious cloaked figure and he's returning soon. The theory also suggests that if Geno really is the Wanderer, he could have actually been inside of Pandora's box all along. Let's not forget the Odyssey, the female counterpart to Geno's snapshot, the Ageless, was related to the Olympian gods. Not only that, but some storyline experts caught something that's further proof to this theory. The last we saw of Geno was him rebuilding himself atom by atom in the Zero War comics. You'll notice that this panel's background is orange with some stars appearing, and if that looks familiar to you, it's because it perfectly lines up with the constellation orb of Pandora's box. Maybe how he rebuilt himself has to do with the effect around him, which is something we'll touch on later. The end of Fortnite x Marvel Zero War also foreshadowed that this wasn't the actual end of the story, implying Geno would one day inevitably return. With next season being themed around Marvel, there's tons of rumors that this is going to be a continuation of the Zero War story that was unfinished for ages. If that occurs, there's no better way to introduce Geno in game, and it would line up perfectly with everything happening on the map now. And if Geno does return, we can only assume we're going to see the return of the Imagined Order, a faction that after recent hints is likely to be returning soon. If you played in Chapter 1 or 2, you'll have noticed that there were bunkers all around the map that were used by the Imagined Order as bases of operations. All of a sudden, bunkers have started appearing in other Fortnite modes like Fortnite Reload and Lego. In the new mode, an Isle bunker can be found at a small cave near Tilted, and for those who have explored a lot in Lego Fortnite, Lego versions of these bunkers are super common. This means after their defeat, a lot of the Order's members likely fled to other worlds like Legos or the Island of Reload and are waiting for instructions once their leader returns. Speaking of bunkers, there's a subplot this season that was secretly building up to the continuation of the Zero War storyline as it revolves around a bunker in the Snow Mountains. We know Wolverine had a protagonistic role in the Zero War comics, and he even was able to face Geno himself. He was in an intimate relationship with the Imagined, a member of the Seven and daughter of Geno, who sacrificed herself to defeat her father for once and for all. This was something that left Wolverine in pain, and now it looks like he's back thirsty for revenge. Inside the bunker lies the Weapon X lab, a place where mankind enhanced Wolverine's mutant abilities. He's getting a new outfit soon, and the shot background has a secret teaser showing pages from the Zero War featuring Wolverine and the Imagined. So Wolverine might actually be the one leading us in the war against Geno and the Wanderer next season in order to execute his revenge. Freeing Wolverine from his prison was of course none other than this season's bonus Battle Pass skin Magneto, who has a crucial role this season because thanks to him we may know where the 0 point is. Yes, contrary to popular belief, the 0 point does in fact still exist because it was first confirmed by Jones when he first mentioned it in dialogue, and now was confirmed in Magneto's quests. The rift beacons that were placed all around the island are not here to bring Marvel's world to the island, but rather to locate the 0 point. This could only mean Magneto Magneto's looking for it, and we can only assume that towards the end of the season it'll be found, leading to more of Marvel's villains attempting to use the 0 Point's power like Galactus or Doctor Doom. However, theories around the 0 Point go even deeper, with some thinking the Wanderer is actually a human version of the 0 Point itself. It sounds ridiculous, but if you look at the evidence, it makes a lot of sense, and it begins in Chapter 2, Season 5, where the 0 Point was destabilizing, and so it emitted these really strange reality-distorting waves. Does it sound familiar? Well, it's the exact same effect the Wanderer has when appearing in games, so this entity could just be the 0 Point in disguise. If that isn't the case, we know beneath the island there's a Titan who unleashed Pandora's box after his hand emerged on the island and has been dormant ever since. We got his outfit a while ago, and looking in his chest you can see the 0 Point. This leads many to believe that this foreshadows the end of Chapter 5, meaning the Titan will awake once again, and since the 0 Point's in his heart, he could destroy the entire island in a live event. And we know there's one big one planned towards the end of the year thanks to the leaked roadmap. If it's not the Titan destroying the Chapter 5 map though, there's a big chance that it's actually one of Fortnite's most well-known factions, the Last Reality, who could also be returning. This is because a large portion of the players don't believe the Wanderer's Geno, but rather is the character called the Nothing. The Nothing's the Last Reality's overlord, worshipped by the Cube Queen and other members of the villainous faction. It was first introduced in the Chrome season, after it sent the Herald to destroy the Chapter 3 map, and if you completed Byte's quest during that season, you would learn more about the Nothing and how it's a hive mind entity with its only goal being to destroy the 0 Point, and with it every reality, so nothing would literally remain. This of course ties back to Chapter 4 Season 1 once again, but this time some disagree with the previous theory of the shapeless man being Geno and think it's the Nothing, since it fits the description of a dark being watching from the shadows much better, which is also exactly what the Wanderer is. In that case, it's possible the Nothing instructed Rift Ward and Stellan to build the Rift Gate as soon as possible to free itself from where it was held in Pandora's box. With it freed and finally on the island in a physical form, it could set its grand plan to finally bring the entire Last Reality back to the island, where we could even see the long-awaited corrupted versions of the Seven that were all talked about in Chapter 4 return and begin the search to destroy the 0 Point for once and for all, ending all of reality. Before that happens, there's only one person who could prevent the Wanderer's plans from taking shape, and that's Hope, who in the latest quest makes some shocking reveals about herself and her powers. After she asks us to get Pandora's gems left behind by the box before it vanished, she reveals that they're extremely powerful to the point where she feels a strange connection.
Something about being around these gems, it makes me feel, I don't know, nauseous, but in a good way.
That strange connections led her to having visions of the future that she doesn't want to discuss with the Jones because she believes we're close to a good ending. This just isn't further from the truth, because as the prophecy from Season 2 revealed, there soon will be a war with the Wanderer and Hope will be lost, yet found again, hinting at her development an entire season back. To succeed these plans, Hope will first have to face Megalodon, who has his own fair share of secret voice lines in game, revealing a lot about the Wanderer. Available now only in specific languages are secret Megalodon transmissions that you could hear while in a car. He tells us not to bother the Wanderer if we see him on the island because he has an important matter that he has to resolve, and they're currently allies which share a common goal, which we can assume is gathering the gems scattered on the wasteland. He tells us not to touch or talk to the Wanderer, and especially not to try to look at what's under the cloak because it's beyond comprehension. Whether this hints at the Wanderer being the Nothing or Geno, it confirms that he'll be a powerful threat, and the only way to find out who he truly is will be to wait until the Beware the Wanderer challenge is released a few days before Season 4. Like and subscribe if you want to see us do a deep dive into that.